Under the Obama administration, healthcare in the US is receiving a lot of attention. But what role can communications technology play? Thomas Goetz is the executive editor at Wired magazine and has written a book on the very subject.
One of the premises of my book and kind of the landscape of healthcare as I see it is that a lot of what we're trying to solve are not kind of the things that we have that we're working on in research labs, right? I mean, cures for cancer, cures for heart disease, those would be great to have. But when you look at what actually the bulk of people suffer from in the United States, 70% of Americans die of a chronic disease. And so 70% of our healthcare costs go towards managing those chronic diseases. A lot of those conditions are actually rooted in behavior. So a lot of them boil down to the choices we make throughout our lives. And so the challenge or the opportunity is how can we help people make better decisions throughout their lives so that they can avoid some of these poorly informed decisions and avoid conditions like obesity or kind of early heart disease, diabetes, rates of diabetes are soaring in this country. Those are all kind of related to behavioral issues.
How do you go about letting people know that there are low-cost or zero-cost services and tools available to them?
The way I think about it, there's no end of resources. There's no end of information about healthcare, right? Or we're all kind of largely aware of what we're supposed to be doing, and we oftentimes think about it in terms of, it's a sense of anxiety. We're not doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. So the challenge is how can we actually get the information to people in a way that causes them to act on it? How can we get very specific information? And that seems to be the trick. When you give targeted, personalized, highly specific information to somebody. So if I tell you that you have a 50% chance of dying of heart disease because you have kind of this gene or this tendency to eat fried foods, and here are the 3 things that you can do to reduce that risk today. That kind of precise information really helps people kind of realize that they have a role in their health and that they have an opportunity to start changing things. It's a very different way of communicating about health than we do normally, though.
And what about social media? Is there a role for social media sites?
There's some great research that shows that when we actually share our health information, when we share what's happening to us with other people and can understand where other people's experiences have taken them, that stuff is incredibly powerful catalyst towards making better decisions and actually feeling more comfortable with our health. So there's some websites and services that have actually started along these lines. There's a great one called Patients Like Me, which is a community around about a dozen different diseases, and you can join there, log all your health information. So if you have problems with depression, you can log all the drugs that you're taking, all the exercise you're getting, all the other things that you try to do, and keep track of it. But also, the website builds your information together with everybody else who's suffering from that, and you get these powerful kind of insights that come out of the data. It becomes actually real-time research, and that's really where we want this stuff to go. We all, in many ways, are kind of generating these reams of data that could be gathered and create insights, create true knowledge. And so my hope is that we become much more comfortable with the idea of sharing our information, and so that it becomes something that we can build on and improve everybody's lot.
So in terms of healthcare, are we seeing ICTs having a profound effect on US society?
Yeah, it's having a huge effect. I mean, you look at the ways that people are starting to use these devices to start to learn about their choices, start to learn about what kind of decisions, what trade-offs they can make. I mean, you look at some really kind of what look like cheesy things, like this service called Eat This, Not That, which is basically you go into a fast food restaurant and you're looking at the bacon double cheeseburger, but this is a little app that suggests that you actually maybe want to choose a fish fillet sandwich instead. And those type of point of action information is really helpful, and people love those. And people are hungry for this information. People really want to find a way to be making better decisions. They want to take this responsibility. They just, there's a problem, there's a separation between the kind of great body of scientific insight and then what it means for individuals. So that's where some of this technology can really help close that gap. We can start to understand, okay, this stuff I'm reading about in the newspaper every day, here's what it means to me. And that's to me incredibly powerful.
This is Guy Daniels for Connected States of America in San Francisco.